Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Steelers. By Vince Williams. Thanks for taking some fun before we got started here. But tons of questions from you, the fans, so let's jump right to it. Vince, the first one is from Judy. She says, congrats on the new contract. Where do you like to vacation, and what do you enjoy doing when it's not football season?
Thanks, Judy, by the way. And I'm from Florida, so, I actually like going to the beach. I do a lot of beach activities. I'm not too big of a fisherman, but I just like to go to the beach and, play beach volleyball, run around with my kids. I really enjoy the sand and the water.
All right.
You can tell by, the type, how high they come off the ball. Usually when it's a pass play, they pop up. And
Wants to know, what was your
illustrated cover of Joey Porter in his pads with no shirt on underneath, and he was like, yeah, making some type of facial expression. But Peasy's been my favorite player for a long time. When he became my position coach, or one of my position coaches, I actually
CB Wife 26 Christy? What is
they can be. I just love chicken wings. I eat thousands of them. I really just smash them.
all in? Okay. All right. This one is from Aaron. What's one lesson that you learned as a child that you want to be sure to pass on to your children?
Being courteous to people. I learned that from my mom, and then it was reiterated by Tom Shaw, my trainer. He used to always tell me, since I used to walk around with such a mean disposition, like, Vince, you have to be nice to people, you have to be courteous to people. And that's something I'm going to pass on to my kids for sure.
Okay, this one is from Heather. She says, congrats on the new contract. What goes through your head when Renegade comes on and Heinz Field goes crazy?
Thanks, Heather. And really, it's hard to really say what goes on through my head. There's so much emotion when that song plays, and Still the Nation is going crazy. I just really want to make a play after that, because that'll just take it to a whole new level. I mean, the stage is already set once Renegade comes on, and then you just want to make the crowd go absolutely bonkers by making another great play.
All right, this one is from Shannon. Congrats, Vince. Glad to have you today. If you could play with any Steelers in history, who would it be?
Thanks, Shannon. And if I could play with any Steeler in history, I think it would have to be Jack Ham. He's my favorite Pittsburgh Steelers linebacker. The guy was extreme.
This one, is there anything Steelers fans would be surprised to know about you that they don't already know, maybe hobbies or something?
I don't know if a lot of Steeler fans know this about me, but when I was in college, some people know, some people don't know, so just putting it out there.
Okay. This is from Kimberly. Does the number 98 have a special meaning for you?
No, not really. I just picked 98 because historically Steelers linebackers usually wear numbers in the 90s, and they were kind of unorthodox like that, and I wanted to be a part of that, and that's why I picked number 98.
All right. My Franco 32 wants to know, are you able to get a full 8 hours of quality sleep before a game? Good luck this season.
Absolutely. I usually try to get in bed around by 10 o'clock every night anyway. Just in bed. I don't know when I fall asleep, but I usually just try to get in bed by 10 o'clock every night.
Okay, this is from SNU member. At what age did you decide that being a professional athlete was actually an attainable goal?
I never really thought about it, to be honest with you. When I came out of Florida State, I wasn't, a shoe-in for the draft. So I actually thought I was preparing for my life as a principal. I thought I was going to be a principal. So I wasn't really sure that I was going to pan out as an NFL player or really put all my eggs in that basket until I'd already been drafted by the Steelers.
Okay, this is from Steel Curtain. Hi, Vince. Glad to know you'll be a Steeler for the next 3 years. How does that make you feel, and what would you like to accomplish?
I'm very excited about it. This was my favorite. Oh, man, all of them. We have a lot of major guys that can, really score touchdowns that we're going to be going against. And I'm really excited to get after everybody.
All right. Steelers Nation NC wants to know, what is your favorite football movie?
My favorite football movie is, I have a couple. Remember the Titans, obviously. That has to be number one. Any Given Sunday, and The Program.
Okay.
I really love The Program.
All right. This is from SNU member again. How much time do you spend watching game film? Now with Payton out of the league, is there a quarterback that you spend more time analyzing?
I haven't been able to quantify it yet. I just, whenever I feel like I need to watch, or if there's something I'm not really understanding, that I'm not really picking up in preparation, I'll go back and I'll rewatch some things. But I haven't really been able to put a number on it. And no, every quarterback is great in this league. A lot of guys don't get the credit they deserve because of how difficult this game is. Like, if we're talking about the absolute best quarterbacks, those guys are an elite level. But even any quarterback that starts in the NFL, they're tremendous.
Okay, this one's from Jeff. What is the best thing that you've learned with working from some impressive veteran linebackers like James Harrison?
Just the consistency. The consistency at which you have to work and eat and do everything right all the time, every single day. Like, you do get days off or what they would consider cheat days, but your overall consistency and how much you have to be locked in to be the best football player that you want to be, it has to be that way all the time.
Bradley says, congrats on the contract. Are you a kick the extra point kind of guy or go for two?
Thanks, Bradley. I'm going to go for two type of guy. When you have a guy like, look at all the weapons we have on offense. I mean, I don't think if a team can't stop you during that entire drive, I doubt they're going to be able to stop you for the 2-point play. And with all those weapons we have on the field, somebody's going to be able to get open.
All right, Steelhead TR wants to know what your pregame rituals are.
I don't have pregame rituals. I just get to my locker, put my pads on, and listen to music. And then all my music is random too. It just randomly generates from I don't have like a set playlist. All the music in my phone is up. Whatever comes up, I listen
Shuffle
to
it. Okay. Three Rivers says, Vince, in which ways do you feel you and your teammates on defense have grown, and who has the best pump-up speech and/or song and dance? That's kind of all over the place.
Well, the communication part of our defense has grown tremendously. Coach Butler took over as defensive coordinator. He put his own little wrinkles on the defense, and we had to grow and change some verbiage. And the communication now is starting to solidify. Shazier has really stepped up as the primary play caller now, and that's been tremendous for him to be able to get that experience. And I don't know. We don't really do pump-up speeches. That's not what we do here. We don't have a lot of rah. I'm the most rah-rah guy I think we have on defense, to be honest with you. But we don't really do a lot of rah-rah.
Songs and dance?
We don't really do a lot of dances. Will Gate dances when he get pick sixes, but other than that, we don't really do a lot of that.
Okay, this is from Jocelyn. She wants to know, do your teammates call you Vinny or Vince?
It depends. When I'm out there thumping people and balling, they call me Vinny. When we're off the field, they call me Vince.
Okay, good distinguish. Luis wants to know, who is the funniest guy on the roster after you, of course?
Oh, man, we have some major characters on this team. D. Will is hilarious. Arthur Moses is sneaky funny. Yeah, Arthur Moses is like the Wayne Brady of the locker room. He's pretty funny, man, but you don't really get it all, but Arthur Moses is funny. It's a lot of fun. AB's really funny, too. AB's a character. He's pretty funny.
Okay. Let's see here. What is your favorite city to visit on the road?
On the road. That's a good one. I don't really have any favorite city that we visit on the road, mostly because the cities that we frequent are the teams in our divisions,
right?
And I can't stand those cities, so I don't really have a city that I really enjoy being in, because pretty much the majority of the time when we're traveling, I despise those cities, so I can't really answer that question.
Okay, that's fair. This one's from Johnny. He wants to know, why don't you wear a visor? #too much swag.
No, I used to wear a visor. I started wearing a visor, but I don't like it because it gets fogged up, and it actually, impairs your vision more than it really helps people poking you in your eyes. Like, you're breathing all hard, and people touch it, and it gets fingerprints on it, and, by the second quarter, you really can't see anything. You have to constantly treat it and wipe it down. I just rather not deal with it.
Okay. Tom wants to know, who has been your biggest role model and why?
Oh, man, I have, my dad was a good role model. My stepfather was a great role model for me, but he also gave me the advice to have multiple role models in your life. So I have, a tremendous number of people that I admire and that I follow. So I don't have one major role model. I have a lot of people that I aspire to be like.
All right, this one is from Guest. How long do you normally work out?
How long do I work out? I work out about 2 hours a day on average.
Wow.
That's a lot, right? Because, I do the cardio. And then I do like 45 minutes to an hour of cardio a day. And then I do like basic workout, and that takes about an hour or two.
Yeah, that's a lot. All right, this one is from Scott. As you enter your 4th season, which veteran player on the team have you learned from the most?
I would just have to say Debo. James Harrison. I've been around James Harrison so much. We sit right next to each other, and I went out and I worked out with him, and I just spent a lot of time with him because I'm constantly around him. He's just giving me little tad bits here and there, and he's really taking me under his wing.
Ryan D wants to know, what is it like having Joey Porter as a coach? What is he like at practice?
it's exciting, you know. But Joey is actually much different than he is at practice he is in the games. You know, he's a lot calmer than people would give him credit for. He's really precise too. You know, people think a guy like Joey probably just played on edge and he was all passion and emotion, but Joey really understands what's going on out there, and he's really cerebral too. So it's nice to get that contrast. You know, you get the raw emotion how he has on game day, and then you get the more calm down thinker type coach during the week.
All right. Mandy wants to know your favorite snack or candy besides peanut M&Ms.
Oh, that's it, man. If I'm gonna indulge, if I'm gonna eat some candy, I'm gonna make sure I'm eating peanut M&Ms. I'm not gonna waste my time. Oh, gummy bears too.
Gummy bears.
Or Lifesaver gummies.
Ooh.
Yeah, those are gummy bears, Lifesaver gummies, or peanut M&Ms.
Okay. All right. Last question from ACP: toughest road stadium to play in.
Toughest road stadium to play in. I'm not gonna lie, Seattle was extremely loud. You know, I played college football at Florida State. We have a really loud stadium, and it was louder than that. You know, I don't think they get enough credit. Everybody talks about how loud it is, but I think it's even louder than what people really say it is. Like, it's extremely loud out there, and we were an out of conference, out of division game, and it was still extremely loud.
All right. Don't forget, our keyword for today is catch, so head to SteelersNationUnite.com to enter it to gain some yards. Vince, thanks so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
All right. Thanks to you, the fans. We'll see you next time on the Weekly Huddle.